So, hi everyone. I thought I'd give you all an alert on a couple of things that I've noticed lately. I have had a few emails from companies claiming to be large, reputable companies like Nike, and I had one from Samsung and things like that. So, this is basically going to be a content creator alert. Is it a scam? I really can't say, but I will give you some ideas on what to look for. So let's get started. I've had a few requests lately for what they call like partnership, collaborations, YouTube sponsored videos. And they're all a little different, but they basically all have the same content. And the emails are basically requesting that if I would be interested in working with X brand, and then they throw in whatever the brand is. Most of the time lately I've had some from Samsung. I actually had one from Nike the other day. So I will show that to you shortly. So this was an email that was sent to me from a company requesting like a YouTube partnership. And this is from an email address that's online.ee. And this seems to be like an Estonian email address company, or like an email service. And what this email was requesting was that it was requesting or asking if I wanted to be part of a upcoming Samsung campaign. And basically they wanted it like a YouTube video, or to add an advertisement in my YouTube videos. But these are the things that get me about this, is that they throw in the brand name first, and then they throw in all the agreements. And apparently that they would send the advertisement to me, and I would check it out, and then I would either make a similar video from their advertising example, or I would add it to a video using whatever their guidelines are. And they do this as like a 50-50 payment. So they would pay you 50% when you say yes, and then they would pay you after your video was released, which I don't think that's a good deal, but that's just my opinion. And I also find it kind of shady when it comes from a online.ee email address, not directly from a PR marketing address. And the next one that I had was the one that I had yesterday, which was from Nike, or claiming to be somebody from Nike. And this one was, the email address was atlas.cz, and the CZ is actually the Czech Republic, or those countries in that section of the world. And this was, again, the same thing. It was requesting a campaign for Nike. But this one was, I believe it's requesting for reviews. So it just says that you can promote their new spring collection among bloggers on YouTube. So basically, again, they would give you a set threshold of what you could purchase. Because it says here, it says you can choose any products from our catalog for a total amount of no more than $1,700. And then they would send it out. And according to them, they would pay you only $1,200 or 955 euros, depending on where you were in the world, for the sponsored ad. So there are always things to look out for when you receive these types of like partnerships, sponsored posts, things like that, emails, when you're a content creator. And one of the big things is non-branded email addresses. As I mentioned, things that are from like the .cz, the @online.ee, anything that isn't coming directly from a brand. I understand that there are a lot of companies that outsource all of that, but when it's not branded content, like saying, Samsung Worldwide or Samsung International or whatever their general email address would be, you would need to make sure that it's coming from that source. And another thing too, if they claim that you're going to get this much money and for this little amount of work, that seems kind of shady too. And one of the other things that gets me with these as well is that I actually replied back to one of these emails, and I know I have a sneaking suspicion that it's a scam, but I'll get to that in the next section real fast. But I replied back to a company and I told them, I would be interested in learning more, and but I was going to charge them a flat fee. And I never heard back from them again. So that's why I have a feeling that these probably do prey on small content creators hoping to get a big break to where they'll get a lot of exposure. And another one other factor there is that since it's coming from overseas email addresses, you don't know how many of these companies are out there or how many people they're emailing at once trying to get more information out of people. I don't know if they're taking the information and using it for other things, or they're just taking it for hoping to have somebody say, yes, we'll do all your advertising for you. I'm not really sure. But the major things are that you need to look for are non-branded email addresses, any grammatical errors, or anything that just seems out of the ordinary, like sentence structure issues, or again, bad spelling. Those are the main ones that I can think of right now at the top of my head. And also if the email has to be translated, because I know a lot of the email services now translate emails from the original language to English if you're based in the United States, or it may translate it from other languages in other countries, I'm not sure. But those are the key things to look out for. So the last thing I want to mention in these emails is it a scam? And 9 times out of 10, I'm going to say yes. A lot of those get flagged and put into my spam folder, so again, that would be obvious. Other ones might not, and still, as I mentioned before, you have to check the email addresses. You can also sometimes just Google whatever the request is and add, is it legit or a scam, using any of your favorite search engines. Again, I mentioned Google, but still, any other search engine you like, you can just add scam or legit at the end of the company name or the request, and then you can find out what's what. Another reason why I think it's a scam as well is because so many of them are so vague. There's one company that keeps emailing me, and they're a big tech company, I guess, from Europe, and they do telephones and stuff. They sell phones here too, apparently, but I'm not too familiar with them. But their emails are like super long-winded, and they're extremely vague, that it tells you, oh, but we can't tell you anything about our product unless you agree. And once you do agree, you have to follow our directions to a T, stuff like that. So if it's like really, they're making you jump through hoops and not telling you how much they're going to pay you, that's another thing that I think is rather shady or a scam. And like the Nike example I shared with you too, where they'll apparently give you $1,700 worth of merchandise, US dollars, in merchandise, but they're only going to pay you less than the amount of merchandise that you had. That doesn't really make sense either. So you really kind of have to do the investigation as a content creator on your end and ask people. If you have like an online social friend group, ask them. If you think something's a little off, ask somebody and they can help you out, and they'll let you know either they think it's legit or it's not, or do your own investigative work. So basically this was what my thing was for today, to kind of get the word out and just say, hey, be careful with a lot of these collaborations and things like that, because you don't really know what's what sometimes, and they may not always be legit. So be careful, everyone. Have a good day. Bye.